Hello, I'm Indu Kannayan, founder of Manasvi Healing and the Second Bloom Movement. At Manasvi Healing, we help women release the weight of the past and reconnect to who they truly are. The Second Bloom Movement is my answer to every woman who lived a first bloom, raising a family, building a career, meeting every expectation, but has never had the space to bloom again for herself. This series, The Woman She Has Become, is about that second bloom, the woman who rises, who reclaims herself, and who steps fully into her own life. And today, we go back to where her story began. Hello, Ma. Welcome to our Manasvi Healing the Woman She Has Become series. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Indu. Such a privilege and honor to be here. The woman she has become, Manasvi Wellbeing. I think such a great initiative, and I really appreciate you for having me here today. Thank you.
Pleasure having you here, Uma. Pleasure having you here. So, when I think about who's Uma is omnipresent. Like she's there live pretty much every day, showing people where she is, and that inspires me. Likewise, I believe for other women or whoever is watching or following you in the social space. Uma, then when I spoke to you, you were like, I've completed a program in mindfulness. Now I'm doing PhD in mindfulness. Um, and doing coaching, business coaching, women empowerment, and yoga retreats. You're doing really few like intense work, but then you carry yourself so effortlessly, and how you move with grace. It really awes me, and that inspires me, and that's why I reached out to you to share a bit of your journey, the women whom you have become today, and so the audience can pick some insights and they can probably apply a few steps in their own life to uplift themselves. So, on that note, Uma, now before you have become the woman today, who were you as a child, as an adolescent girl, as a young adult? Take us there.
Let's see. Okay, that's lovely. It's been a very long time since anyone has asked me. Let's travel to your childhood and see how you were. So I think it's very interesting. Indu, you mentioned that you've seen me doing all these things and got inspired, and likewise when I spoke to you I was like so inspired to hear what you're doing, and I thought, you know what, I really want to be in this show. It was like really inspirational to me as well. But like you said, all these things, was that when you go back to my childhood, did I ever imagine that this would be my life, and this is what I'd be doing? Not at all I know was that I was a very happy child, but there's a caveat there. I'll come to you on that. Very happy, cheerful. My mom was a great inspiration in terms of she wanted to see me thrive, and the way she brought me up, just like a daredevil. She brought me up like a daredevil, very bold and confident in all those things. So that was my childhood. I grew up with a big joint family, so I had that beautiful opportunity to learn from the different generations. So I think that was a beautiful environment I grew in. That was great. And so what one would not realize, that someone that sees me today or even saw me as a kid of being so confident and competitive and everything, had a belief that didn't serve her. So there was a deep rooted belief in me that actually sabotaged my life. And I had a bit of, a range of years in my life where I'm looking back and I'm thinking, Uma, what was that? Why? That really shook me to understand that a lot of things, decisions, and the path I took was driven by a certain belief that was deep rooted in me, and then the journey was all about unbecoming. that part of me that was not serving me. So that was my childhood. Very happy, very joyful, highly competitive, great environment, family, and growing up with my siblings. Just beautiful upbringing.
Beautiful. That just took me back to my childhood memories as well. Like, the that it's always close to our heart, the way we are being brought up and things like that. Now, as you
Yeah.
were sharing about your childhood, like although you are bubbly and you're competent and confident, what is that belief that was not serving you, that like shook you when you realized that this is what is limiting you?
Yeah, great question. Um, So during this journey, there was a time in my life where I kind of hit rock bottom, lost a close family member, and that kind of took me to a stage. Even before that, I would say, midlife crisis, you call it. During that midlife, there was a lot of questioning. The first question that came to me was, what is the purpose of my life? Okay, that's where it started. What's the purpose of my life? And I'm thinking, what is this question even? I can't even fathom this question. I'm going to push it away, right? And then things happened, and went on to this journey of self discovery and everything. But when I came to a point of understanding why all that happened, the kind of decisions I made, the people I got into my life, the relationship I got engaged with, everything was driven by a belief that I was not good enough. So I settled for very less in my life. Without going into the intricacies of why I feel that way, it's pretty much the fact that the choices I made in life in terms of my career, my marriage, my relationships, everything was driven by just that one belief that I was not good enough. So what I was doing was I was settling for really less, and I was dimming my light to suit others' insecurities. Now, without knowing this, imagine, Indu, when you choose someone as a life partner, when you choose a career, when you choose places you want to live, or events and circumstances that you surround you with, it's unbelievable how much that can damage you. And with no offense to anybody or anything that's crossed your life or been in your life, it's all come for a reason, and for a learning and for a season. I always believe in that. These were choices I made, and I may take full responsibility for it. But just knowing, only if I did not have that belief, I would have made more empowering choices growing up, right? And I wouldn't have gone through the so much of hardships and difficulties. Life could have been much better.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so that's the belief I realized that, okay, not good enough was not serving me anymore.
Right. Beautiful. And I think for most of us, when we narrow it down to any reasons that we say in our life, like this is my hardship and this is what I'm going through, whether you are in an awareness space or you're in a victim space, you know what it is. But then when we really narrow it down, it comes to that moment of I'm not good enough, I'm not deserving this, I'm not capable, or whatever the choice of words that they use. But I think that comes down to that limiting belief and the emotions associated with that. Now,
Exactly.
yeah, the question that I it arises for me now is, as a child you said you were competent, you were bubbly, you were happy, your environment was not that disrupting, it was like a healthy environment, talking about joint family. Where did this belief, like when did this arise? Like because you were a high achiever, like you were competent, because of that,
Yeah,
like you wanting yourself to be even more, like we always set our caliber in that stage, like although we are achieving, like I'm not there yet, I'm not good enough to move to that space. Is it like
yeah.
that, or was there any particular moment that like hit you strong for that?
Great question. So, well, growing up, I mentioned I didn't know that, but I was competitive and everything, right? when I came to this, journey of self discovery and learning who I really was, and what I was meant to do and all these things, I realized that when there's defining moments in our life, right? So when I was discovering these things, I realized there was a defining moment in my life that told me that taught me that I was not good enough. So basically, nothing has meaning but for the meaning that we give to things, right? As a coach today, I know that, but only if I knew a little bit earlier. So that was when a particular period when my parents were in Nigeria. I was growing up in India. Now, because while I was in Nigeria, they felt that the place was not safe enough for a young girl, and so I have a younger brother and a younger sister, and they felt that since I was much more elder to them, they said as a teenage girl, it's not safe for her here. That's not even teenage, much younger than that. So say they sent me to India to grow up with my grandparents. So they put me in a good school, big joint family, everyone cherishing me because I was the first granddaughter and everything. But because my parents chose to send me away from them, I made meaning that my parents did not love me. I made meaning that I am not good enough, so they chose to send me away. Now I realize that it's the best possible thing for me. I had an incredible education, incredible environment growing up. So what we do is when things like that happen, we either become resourceful or unresourceful with that. What I did was I became highly competitive and high achiever because I wanted my parents' attention. I thought if I was competitive and excel in everything, they would love me and they'll come back for me and they'll take me. Can you imagine as a kid where does this all come from, right? Imagine kids growing up like that. So 0 to 7 years is your development stage, right? Having those kind of beliefs didn't serve me. So when I went through the work that I did on myself, a bit of a timeline journey, it hit there. Went to a point where I grew up thinking not good enough, not loved enough. And so then I made choices in my life to either being it my marriage or my career or anything, just took the bare minimum, settled for less. So that was what I realized after a point. Okay, not good enough, not loved enough. These are all universal fears. What is interesting to know that it's universal fear: fear of not being good enough, fear of not being loved enough, fear of judgments, fear of rejection. All these are universal fear, but some of us have hyper kind of attachment to certain fears. Mine was not good enough and loved enough.
Beautiful. That now leaves me to the space. I'm thinking as we're talking about as a child, we made up, and I think it's a very natural thing. Nobody sits and tells the child or anything. It's just a natural feeling that comes. And I'm thinking like, should I just clip this part too and show to the parents, like, because I teach for youth orators, for the students on public speaking. And there was a segment where I particularly told the parents to record something that they are really proud of their kids, regardless of what achievements they do in the academic or in any other space. And that like I could see the students smiling as they hear the parents, say about them, like, they are proud of them for who they are and not necessarily about the achievements. And I think it's really important. And in whichever way we can, narrate that to the children, I think that would be the best part. And I hear you, Ma. I really hear your where you're coming from. And by good, you found the way. You found the way. But now let us dive a bit more into it. Just stop me if you're not comfortable at any stage. But when we say we are not good enough for someone, like it might seem like a very simple statement, like, okay, she has that thought. But with that, what are all the things we are associating? Like, did you become a people pleaser over the period of time, or did you like neglect your own emotions over the period of time, or you were trying to suppress your emotions just for you to feel good in the outer world? Like, what are all the emotions that you picked up as you had this base fear or the limiting belief you had?
Great question again. And just going back to the point where you mentioned about, how you train parents, children to get that create that awareness. I remember watching just yesterday, I watched a WhatsApp clip of yours where you're saying that, share you about you first before expecting the kids to share something. That was really empowering. That is so true. This is the thing, right? Even now I'm thinking, if I had the awareness I had before, if my parents had the awareness they had before, things would have been much different. So excellent work that you're doing. I want to commend you on that.
Thank you.
And like for me, it was well, yes, all that you said. Now when I look back in different aspects in my life, these things were there. And the most key saboteurs were first the choice more than the emotions, right? So the choices of things that I made in my life, pivotal choices in your life, where your parents would have said, this is not right for you, that's not right for you. I never listened. I actually became a rebel in a way, right? I was like my way, highway, kind of thing. And so probably that was the suppression, feeling not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, became a kind of rebel at a point, deciding this is what I choose to do, this is how I choose to live, right? And so those were the things. But then going back, then you go into life, and then you go in through the journey of life. I realized I became more than a people pleaser. I became a workaholic.
Hmm.
I was so addicted to work because my way of suppressing my emotions was, let me shut the world out, let me work. I was so engrossed in work. I got so deeply buried in work that I used to be guilty if I was not working. And that was my best way. These are all different saboteurs. Actually, there's a quiz I do when I onboard clients. It's called the saboteur assessment, and we see the different saboteurs we have: people pleasing, workaholic, alcoholic, could be hyperactive, overachieving. All these overachieving is a saboteur. I wasn't, and I've actually tried to tone it down a bit. I don't want to be a high achiever anymore, but I was seeking validation. I was seeking approval that, yeah, you're good enough. So if I did these things, I was good enough, right? So yeah, I think the answer to the question was, I suppressed my emotions, and my unresourceful way coping mechanism was working, addicted to working, and wanting external validation.
That's huge, isn't it? Yeah. We
Yeah,
want to mask our inner emotions or whatever we are going through. We want that external validations by overdoing what
yeah,
the capabilities are.
yeah,
I completely hear your what you have gone through, and I think every woman out there or even men out there, they go through all these things in their own way. As you said, not necessarily it has to be people pleasing, but it's quite the opposite, being rebel. And it takes, like, I believe it's like when you squeeze the ball, you might not know how it's going to burst out.
yeah,
So I think everybody will have their own way of expressing themselves.
yeah.
Now, when did you move into the space? As I believe over the period of time, as you were mentioning, like, okay, now I need to really work on myself and, come out of this, this belief or the lifestyle or the identity you were holding at that point of time. Tell me more about the work that you are doing currently now, Uma, the neuroalchemy technique and your signature aspect, your quantum matrix methodology. And I
Yeah.
think while we were talking, you were talking about quantum leap, if I'm not wrong. Or was it something else? Quantum, you referred some
Yes,
another term.
certainly.
So yeah, I'm more interested to know that aspect of it. So how the transformation happened from the Uma being workaholic
Then,
to this aspect
then
of it.
I'd love to answer that. Yeah, and well, just let's go rewind a bit, okay? In my past life, let's say, um, I mentioned there was this time where I felt, what is the purpose of my life? Somewhere in 2009, what is the purpose of my life? And I just didn't understand that. I was like, I loved learning and everything, but didn't know anything about personal development, or had no exposure to those sort of stuff. And then in around 2015, my ex-husband passed away. The divorce had happened long way back, but then when he passed away, it created a ripple effect of lot of things that happened in my life. Like you see, it started to one after the other, one after the other. There was a negative ripple effect. One, I started to go into this tunnel vision of, oh, maybe I should have stayed in the marriage, I could have saved or whatever, but that was not within my control, right? And from that point forward, I started to question life. What is this life all about? And then I went into an existential crisis. So the existential crisis was where I started to question, well, why am I even living? Well, who am I? The question was, who am I? And seriously, Indu, at that phase of my life, I thought I was really dying. I was even going through panic attacks and anxiety, and I don't know what all these things are. I'm Googling, why do I feel vomitish? Why do I feel like I'm choking? My chest is choking. What's happening to me? And then it comes up, this is panic attack. Panic attack? What in this world is a panic attack? What is anxiety? What is depression? I remember going to a doctor and I say, Doctor, I've got Alzheimer. He's like, how old are you? Like kind of mid-30s, early 40s. You don't get it at this age. And I said, why am I can't remember things. Something is happening to me. He said, you're overly stressed and burnt out. So I was going through a lot of stress. I remember waking up midnight. I'll be seeing all these numbers like 1111, and I'm like, something is happening here. So actually, while I was thinking I was dying, it was a moment of awakening. I know that now, but then I didn't know. I'm so scared of everything. But one thing I knew that was that I was so lost, and the fire inside me was burning more than the fire outside of me, right? Although everything was green outside in terms of materialistic stuff and, good job and great career and everything else, hit rock bottom. And then I made a choice. I have a choice to stay here and keep wondering what to do or do something about it. Came to Australia with a broken heart and one suitcase. That's all I had. No family, no friends, no nothing, knew nothing about the country. And I chose this country only because I didn't know anyone here. I have friends and family all around the world. They are ready to help me do anything at the drop of a pin. But I thought this journey had to be a journey of solitude where I can really find who I am, because I didn't know who I was. And in that quest, I'm glad I made that choice, Indu, because that's the choice we don't make because of the fear of the uncertainty. Honestly, Indu, I don't know how I made that choice. And thinking back today, can I do it now? I don't know. And that is that intuition. If I look back, everything that's happened in my life, it was a divine guidance. It was this intuition, and that is because I chose me. I decided to choose me. I decided to let go of everything else. Those who know, the story of Draupadi, when she was constantly holding on to her sari and wanting to protect herself. Krishna didn't come. The moment she let go and she said, okay, I'm surrendering, the God appeared. I'm having goosebumps as I'm saying this. I was not even planning to say this, but it just came intuitively. In that context, I think at that point I just surrendered to the universe and I said, I'm just going to surrender. Whatever happens, happen, because I can't do this by myself, right? So that journey then, but I didn't know I was surrendering. I didn't know I was coming out of my comfort zone. All these things I didn't know. I just followed my heart. And then I think through that journey, I discovered the best possible version of myself. There's this story as well of this eagle. What it does is, at a period of time, it travels far away, far away, far away, where there's nobody, and it goes and it sharpens its beak that it'll bleed so much. It keeps sharpening, and that it comes back into with a different identity and version of itself. That was the bleeding. I was bleeding of pain and not knowing how to deal with life. But that journey taught me a lot about the growth, and it was the journey of the metamorphosis. When you feel the butterfly thought it was dying, it became a butterfly. I think that's what I can see. That's where I became who I am today, by giving up the identity and taking the new identity. So it was a process of unbecoming to become who I am. I'll pause a moment here because I know, in order to explain to you about the quantum leap and the methodology and the alchemy, I needed to give a background story as to how it got me here. I'm happy to answer the question, but I want to go back and answer the quantum aspect. So did you have anything you wanted to share or ask?
I want to actually give you a virtual hug,
Oh,
ma'am.
I'm getting
Yes. The reason being, whatever you shared, I know it's very personal and it is not easy to share it outrightly, but then that's the maturity you're having, how to hold that emotions and even go back to the past and talk about it. And the healing that you've done for yourself speaks volume. And I could resonate what you're saying as well. And I truly believe that the choice that you have made and when we surrender to the universe is when the blessing comes to us, because until then we feel that it's not necessarily we are so much aware that the ego plays the role there, like, I can do all by myself, or I am the one responsible. Of course, yes, we are responsible, but to an extent we are also connected to the universe, and we are not operating anything just by ourselves. And I think, as you mentioned, when I, like 5 years before, I had no understanding about what personal development and all of that. I feel like when you are ready, and I think that point is very important to emphasize again, when an individual is ready to make a change in their life, make a progress in their life, and not get stuck where they are, that's when the path get actually opens. Like, if you are looking for a path to open and then for you to step out, that may not
it.
happen. So you got first to decide with all that fears and all that
Yes.
uncertainty, and that's when the light shines on you. So that was beautifully shared with us. And with all due respect, as I said, like, there would be a time where I would meet you in person as well. And it's really a great moment what we are discussing here, because anyone who's going to listen to this, they may not, I don't want them to feel like I'm alone in this journey. Like, there are other women who have gone through, been there, and just because they have decided not to live the same way, breaking the pattern or becoming unbecoming, the life has changed for them. And so can they do as well. So that's the one message that I really want the audience to take from here. But great share, and thanks for sharing that with us. Thank you. And
Thank you. And thank you for that beautiful heart. So I want to honor the question again about the quantum thing, right?
yeah.
So now I told you about this journey. Now imagine in the midlife, new country, new world, new everything. I'm thinking I don't have the time to go back and rebuild the life of this many years. What do I do with the given? And now, given the little resources that I have, how do I rebuild my life? That was my burning question. Now, and during this entire time, I was learning about the power of the mind, and I was so fascinated that, I think the universe, as I said, was just keeping on guiding me, do this, study this, go there, be this, connect with this. I was just the signs and the breadcrumbs I was picking, and I was just going with that guidance. And all those numbers that I was seeing, everything was guiding me. And then I went into understanding of how coaching can transform people's life, and then I became a coach myself, and then went into mindfulness. That saved my life, learning how to use mindfulness and as a lifestyle tool. And so all these things were parallelly happening. And during that time, there was a time in the this is 2016, 2016 31st December, very early stages. 1st of January is my birthday. So 31st December, I was in Chatswood sitting under a tree. And I was actually gone for a stroll, and I'm thinking, okay, let me sit down, and what do I do? Nobody to enjoy life with. I'm feeling lonely. Maybe I'll go for shopping. I'll go for some dining all by myself, all this stuff. I'm sitting and thinking, and suddenly I thought, okay, let me send messages to people. My phone died. If your phone battery dies, you feel like you've died, right? Like, I'm like, what do I do? I real panic attack at that time without my phone. And I'm like, okay, okay. I left the phone. I was seated under a tree, and I was just looking up at the swaying. First, the people passerby, and then the swaying leaves. So sad, so heavy hearted, okay? And then suddenly, I don't know what happened. I felt like I came out of a jolt. And when I came out of that jolt, I was in euphoria. And I'm wondering, oh my God, what happened? Because I don't know how long I was gone. All I know was that I had transcended, I had attained a state of pure bliss, thoughtlessness. Something happened. Now I'm in euphoria. And then I had a download, just a message, uplift humanity. Now, what do I do with this message, uplift humanity, and this euphoria, and completely confused, not knowing am I in hallucination? All I wanted to do is run home because I felt something had happened to me, something had shifted, and there is this, vortex of a bubble that I'm in. I don't want someone to poke it and get this, euphoria out. So ran home, locked myself in. 3 days I didn't come out of my hole. A person who was so sad, wanted to go and do stuff, didn't leave home for 3 days. And I was in euphoria for three full. 2nd of January was the day I actually came out. I was writing and journaling, and just this creative juices are flowing. That day I registered my social enterprise, I Beyond Bliss, the name, because I was just beyond bliss. Just see, people sometimes think if I have to start a business, a passion or something, it comes naturally. We cannot force these kind of things, right? So I'm sitting, and then I'm sitting and thinking, uplift humanity. I can't even uplift myself. Where am I going to go and uplift humanity? Again, nothing made sense at that time, but today, looking back at that journey and everything, there was a method to the madness. Now, after that message, or what I understood, I unpacked and saw what happened. So I had actually transcended. Maybe when I was looking at the tree, I was hypnotized by nature. I transcended. I don't know, 1 minute, one second, one hour. I don't know how long I was gone because I had no track of time. I transcended time and space. Now then, I still have this podcast I released after that. First time, I don't know how to do a podcast. I don't know how to start a business. None of these things. Everything was happening. And then through this journey of over a decade, doing all these learning and teaching and helping people, I realized there was a method to the madness. And, I told you, how am I going to transcend time and rebuild my life? It happened in a very short period of time because then this quantum methodology that I put together, Q is all about questioning all there is. I told you there was a time I stood and questioned myself, is there all there is to life? What is the purpose of my life? If anyone is in that stage, if you are questioning your being, anything about your life, you're ready for the transformation. That's the Q. U stands for unlearning. Unlearning is the unconditioning, I'm not good enough conditioning and everything. And so A is for authenticity, becoming your authentic self. So that way, slowly, slowly, when I saw everything I did to transcend time. So what I teach now is to quantum leap. That is to break the barrier of this time and space and quantum leap into your new reality, because growth is not linear, it can be exponential. So that's what I teach people. You don't have to crawl, you can quantum leap into your new evolution, your new identity, your new life.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It just took me into this journey of how things evolve. And I believe when you ask like how I can go and change my, my past and where is the time I have got. And I think it's the question that hits for all the midlife women like, okay, I don't have enough time now. How do I change myself, or how can I transform myself? But I think the question, when you ask the right question and the universe gives you the answer in a way that it just astonishes us. And I think that was a beautiful, and I think it was destined to happen to an extent. And the effort, the 10 decade, I mean a decade of work that you've done, it just really gives the people a framework to follow step by step, and helps them to quantum leap in their life. It's beautiful work that you're doing, Uma. Beautiful work.
Exactly. And that's all about, just like you said, if anybody's watching us, listening, not if anybody, those who are listening and watching to us, we want to let you know that you don't need time. Please, time is not real. And time and space you can transcend. All I'm saying is that Shift identity to collapse time. That's what I did. I shifted my identity. Your past identity is not serving you right now. You have outgrown that version of yourself that's not serving. So we need to shift the identity of who we are. That's why I'm writing this book, Unbecoming, to become your greatest and grandest version. That's your true self. It's waiting. It's just can't wait to come out and live the life that you deserve to live, right? So yes, quantum leap, time is a myth.
Beautiful. So okay, in the beginning I didn't mention about the author part. Now you're writing the book as well. So brilliant, brilliant, Uma. Looking forward for the book to launch, and definitely it would be a great read for all the readers. We have touched base quite heavy topics. I want you to, ease out and let's talk about something cool and fun. So
Yeah.
I believe you carry handbag everywhere. Do you have one particular, or do you change according to the costume or the event that you go for? What's your type?
Good question. I do change. Like, I don't know. I just love that version of myself as well. As much as I'm, like you said, it's been a very heavy topic in life, but I have such a lighter side to myself, such side to myself. I work hard. I play harder. So, I love to go out, meet people, socialize, go for dancing, go to events. So, and I love versatility. Like, I love to match things. Honestly, my son says, Amma, you have to stop buying. This is not okay. There's no space. Literally, so many clothing or footwear or, accessories. I just love it. I say, son, this is what brings me joy. It's okay. So, yeah, I do have, I just love it.
Yeah, there is a in Tamil they say "Aal Padi, Adai Padi." So,
Party, party.
and I think we are the little version of that. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Okay, now the reason I asked about the handbag, so now is that you change your handbags and not particular one. Is there any particular thing that you carry that is quite sentimental to you, and you feel like, okay, that's something that I need to carry regardless of which handbag it is. Like I need to carry that everywhere I go.
Good question. Very good question. To be honest, actually, no. Actually, no. I used to have sentiments and I used to be attached to a lot of things. But what life taught me was, when I learned to swim without anything, I'm like, you can just call me out right now. I can go with you and I can build a life right from there, right? So I really am not dependent on. Of course, what I would do is go and buy something. Like, I'm out and I have to attend something. I'll go get dressed appropriately for it, but not that I carry anything that is sentimental. I think it's all created and curated right here in my soul. It's all in here. So I'm not looking for anything external that has to make me feel safe or anything. I feel so grounded, and all those things that is required, I think it's so much here. So I feel safe regardless. I don't have anything of that sort.
All right, that's all good, no problem. Um, that's fine. Now we'll go for a bit of a rapid fire quantum edition kind of a thing. All right, so
Okay, okay.
let's see. Okay, so I've got 12 questions. Yeah, I know. Brace yourself. And, so this can be a very short question, not lengthy explanation. Anything that comes to your mind, just go for it.
Okay.
So the first question starts now. I'm not timing it, so that's okay. Okay, so is it morning ritual or night reflection for you?
Both. AM and PM rituals are very important to me. Both.
All right, beautiful. Meditation or movement?
Both. Both is important because the mind body connection is important for the soul to thrive.
Perfect. Discipline or intuition?
Tough one. I'll go for intuition because the intuition tells me how disciplined I need to be or what I need to do.
All right, perfect. One word that defines your current season, like where are you at?
Beautiful. Simplify to amplify. This is a year of complete sort of slow down because I'm having more for less, easy, effortless flow state that I'm in.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. A belief you had to unlearn. I think you just mentioned it.
Yes, not being good enough.
All right. If quantum leap had a color, what would that be?
Red, passion,
Wow.
intense. Yes.
Okay. All right. So bright red there. Okay. A book that shifted your consciousness.
There were many. It's really hard to say. Um, the alchemy
Mm,
secret, yeah. The secret was the first one, so let's go with secret.
okay. Beautiful. I think now they have got the video version as well in
Yes,
or something. Okay.
yes.
That's beautiful. Right. Coffee meeting or solo thinking time?
Or coffee meeting. I love to meet people.
Yeah, I know, right? Success or significance?
Significance,
Okay. One habit that protects your energy.
authenticity. More than a habit, it's a state of being, just being authentic, real, and just being me. That's it.
All right. Yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, even if you're just otherwise, you have to like put up too much, like different layers of mask is too much. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One thing women overcomplicate.
Oh. Overcomplicate is actually overthinking is what they overcomplicate that, things are difficult and that you have to be working hard to do stuff. It's life is really, really simple. Progress, very simple. They overcomplicate it.
All right. One sentence you would whisper to your younger self.
You got this, girl.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So, with that, our rapid fire quantum edition is done. But I've got one more thing to just go with.
Okay.
So, I've seen this from another podcast. They talk about lemon to lemonade. Okay.
Yeah.
The concept, what they've got is what was that something was bitter that they have turned into their favor as a lemonade. But what we have here is blue or green. The reason I
Ah,
came up with that is blue is sometimes we refer to the space where it's like, I feel blue or like, gloomy or unclear or the situation is, that's not working in my favor kind of a thing. So blue represents something that once felt intimidating, heavy or uncertain. And green represents something you choose to grow, nurture and make work in your favor. So
mm.
yeah, the whole of your past and current does represent that part. But then, what was the recent thing that you had felt something blue and then you changed it to green?
Oh,
I mean, that needn't be too much. Like that could be a very simple thing, like a very daily chores as well. I don't know. Like it can be simple. It needn't be heavy one.
yeah. I guess more of heavy thinking leads to, think too much. Like I said, that's what women do, overcomplicate, right? Okay, what was blue that became green? I think last year, at the tail end of last year, things were a bit slowing down because I told you, right, I'm not a high achiever. It was hard to see that slowdown because I actually felt sick as well. And then there was more philosophical reasons to that. I was purging, I was letting go of my identity. Some shit was happening. But when that was happening, I was pretty blue. And I'm like, what's going on? I was really perplexed. I've done all these work and I'm here. And why is this happening now? Then I realized that it was, I had evolved and transcended and my identity had shifted. I realized it, I reflected on it, but I had not released it. So when I went to India, Sri Lanka, I made a trip recently and I had let go of a lot of my old past belongings and things that was not needed anymore. And I think there was an energetic cord still attached to all those from my past that I released. And so that release of my past identity took me to the green zone. That's when I came into this year, it seemed like simplify to amplify, and I started to absolutely expand. That's the blue to green zone transition.
Wow, wow. Another gold. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. That's the way. Beautiful. Now, just because I believe you are also from Chennai, is that right?
Yes, I'm from Chennai.
Yes, and I'm from Chennai too. So I
Yes.
thought we need to have some, that hometown rapid fire kind of a thing.
Oh,
From
sure.
that roots. All right.
Yeah.
So for you, for shopping, is it Mylapore or Tinagar?
Tinagar.
Okay.
Pondicherry.
Panagalpa. Okay.
It's changed a lot, but still, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Is it masala chai or green tea?
Masala chai. Oh, filter coffee, please.
Yeah, I've got the next one. Filter coffee,
Okay.
cappuccino.
Filter coffee. Filter coffee.
Yes. Okay. Do you have filter coffee here?
I do. I go to Sarona Bhavan, I go to ATB. I have filter coffee, not at home though,
All
but
right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Um, Vijay, actor Vijay or Sivakarthikeyan?
I think now with all that's happening, I'm liking Shiva Karthikeyan. Even yesterday, I was watching a movie with my son. I think, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because with the political blast stuff, yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. Um, Madisaru or Gagra Choli?
Madisar.
Okay.
Madisar, ma'am. Madisar.
Mami, all
I
right.
really like Madisar,
I
ma'am.
haven't seen you in Madisaru yet, but they would.
I'll show you my wedding photos. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Should have some.
Right. So, vadai or samosa?
Samosa.
Okay. Right. Sridevi or Madhuri Dixit?
Sridevi.
Uh,
Anytime.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, this one I'm curious to know as well. Is it Marina Beach sunrise or ECR sunset?
ECR sunset.
All right, there we go. That's it. I've got. So that was beautiful, beautiful, Uma, and I think we are coming to a close of. Um,
Should we? Indu, should we come to a close? I'm really enjoying this. I'm loving this. I am having so much fun.
Sure, I did as well. A lot of insights and takeaways from what you have shared as well, Uma. Now, is there anything particularly you want to tell our audience in a nutshell? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, please.
Yeah. Uh, I would like to tell our audience that you deserve to be the best version of yourself. There's no one here stopping you. No one. Let me just trust your gut. Remember, there's no one that is stopping you from your greatness. You are your own barrier. So I want you to know that if you even have that bit of urge in your heart that says, you know what, there's something more to life, or is there all there is to life, you are ready for that transformation. And we'd love to see you thriving. You that's what you deserve for. So please don't stop yourself, and don't question anything. Just move forward, find a way to get to the best version of yourself, because your soul is wanting it. It's aspiring it.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Thanks, Uma. Thanks for that. Now, how can people find you? Like in the sense, I believe you conduct a lot of retreats and yoga and kind of a thing. So, how can they find you? Is there anything that's upcoming?
Yeah, great question. You mentioned one time, Indu, that, it's like sometimes in laws, they don't know what to do. And, women where they are in a state where you don't know how to move forward. The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is when I was going through that, I didn't have that support system. That's exactly why I've created this, in order to help and empower women to know that there are many ways to coming out of your comfort zone, right? Either you're green and growing, or you're ripe and rotten. You choose your pain. Either ways, it's going to be painful. So the way I help is through coaching, through training, through retreats and everything. But the first step to anything is to understand them and see where they are, where they need to get to. And they have to be ready as well. Otherwise, you can't work with anyone who's not ready to help themselves, right? So the best way to reach out to me is check out my website, www.umapanch.com. So Uma Panch, if you search, I'll come up in various social media. You can connect me with me. I'm from TikTok to LinkedIn. TikTok childish, playful stuff, LinkedIn very professional stuff. And so retreats are coming up. There's an international. We're doing a Mother's Day retreat. We'd love to be there. Either you want to bring your mom. You could do a 3 generation. Bring your child. So we'd love to have you there. It's in Kenthurst, not too far in the western suburb, and it's a 1 day retreat. So if anyone is interested, just reach out to me. Connect with me in any social media. I'm very responsive. Also, if you're still not sure about, do I need to get in touch with Uma, just go to my website. There are many resources on my website. Particularly, there's a mindset audit. You can do that mindset audit and it'll tell you what your saboteurs are. And then reach out. I do offer a complimentary one-on-one call just to give them some sort of support and everything. So just reach out. Happy to serve and support.
Yeah, beautiful, Umar, beautiful. I'm pretty sure people will be reaching out, and you've got a great fan base and client base as well. So they'll be reaching, and we'll put the things in the show notes as well. So they will be able to find the website easily for us. Beautiful, beautiful. And I think with that, we may have to in this, but we will be in touch. That's not a thing. But thanks for your time, Uma, and thanks for sharing your journey and the insights and the learnings and the work that you do. It's I mean, it's pretty much it's necessary. As you mentioned, there are lots happening in the world, and people are as such being influenced by all these commotions and violence and whatnot. I think for individuals to really understand where they are and how they can really live the life that they are meant to live. It's not even talking about deserving, but the way they are meant to live. And the work that you do is really important. And thanks for being part of Manasvi Healing, the Women She Has Become series. It's really a pleasure and honor having you with us here.
Thank you so much, Indu. My privilege, my honor. Manasvi Healing. It's really healing. Even for me, this is a moment of healing to be able to talk and go through this. So thank you so much. You're doing an incredible work to get people's voice out and create confidence and give people hope, give women hope that this is possible, right? So thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to meeting you in person and serving our community. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks.
Okay.